Clay from Brooklyn, football with the fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Recording from Berlin, Germany. Yes, my family and I are still on vacation. That's why I'm speaking quietly because it's well after 11 p.m. here. I know it's a lot earlier where you are, but it's pretty late here. My family's asleep, so I'm trying to be quiet. But I had to come up with some breaking news to tell you about the Final 53 if you haven't seen it yet. So you probably have already, but let's talk about a few people that were surprises to me that made the Final 53. But before you go any further, again, Clay from Brooklyn Football, the fellas, it's all about Big Blue. You know what Mazo and I want you to do. We want you to grab that like button. We want you to share and subscribe, and we want you to drop a comment. There, got that business out of the way. So the Final 53 isn't that surprising. There's a couple of names, though, that I'm a little surprised at. In specific, people who we cut that I'm surprised that we cut. Three in particular. One, Elijah Chapman. I don't understand why we cut Elijah Chapman. He seems to be at least as good, if not slightly better at interior defensive line than he was last year when he made the team. Like, I think he's gotten a little bit better, a little more seasoned, a little more experience. So the things that he brought to the team last year, he still has. And now this year, he's been getting a few snaps in at fullback. We don't even have a fullback, and he is a solid blocker from the few snaps we saw. He will definitely knock your linebacker back a pace or two and open a hole for a running back. So on those short yardage situations, or even just on 1st and 10, if you let him lead into the hole, I think the running back is going to have a hole. And our run blocking hasn't been so elite that we just don't need a fullback that can block from time to time. So I don't get that. I think Elijah Chapman would have been a two-way player that contributed on both sides of the ball a little bit, like packages that could have used him and add depth were worth keeping around. The second person is tight end Greg Dulcich. I think Greg Dulcich is a solid tight end. He's not a Pro Bowler, but he's a solid tight end. We had a room full of solid tight ends. We had some decisions to make. Personally, I think I would have kept him instead of Daniel Bellinger. Daniel Bellinger is probably a little bit better than Greg Dulcich overall as far as blocking and pass catching, but not that much better. And he makes more than more than three times as much money as Greg Dulcich. He makes $3.6 million, and we are strapped for cash. We are 31st in the league in cap space, as I've said many times. So I think it would have made much more sense to cut Daniel Bellinger and to keep Greg Dulcich. And the third person, of course, is Dante Turbo Miller, who is the fastest giant. He has an incredible speed and explosiveness that we saw on display in the preseason. And I'm not saying he's a 10 carry a game running back between the tackles. Of course not. But you can't teach speed. You can't coach speed. And you have to defend speed. And he would have teams worried about his speed every time he got on the field, which, again, I thought would have been 5 or 6 snaps a game. But for those 5 or 6 snaps a game, if he actually touched the ball once or twice, that would be great. And if he threatened the defense and made them react to his abilities and speed and potential, that might have opened up something for someone else. So I don't get why we wouldn't want to keep him on the team for the initial 53. I shouldn't say final 53 because tomorrow we have more decisions to make, or by tomorrow we have more decisions to make because, of course, the other 31 teams have cut people as well. So there's over 1,000 new players that we could be looking at to add to the roster. In any event, those three I think we should have kept. And you might ask, well, then, Clay, what would we have done, with those roster spots? Who would we have gotten rid of? First and foremost, I would have got rid of 7th round draft pick Corey Black. He's a cornerback. We kept 7 cornerbacks. We don't need 7 cornerbacks. Now, we only kept 3 safeties, so I guess you could make the argument that we kept 10 defensive backs, but I think we could have got away with 9 defensive backs, certainly with 6 cornerbacks. And Corey Black has not impressed me. I don't think he impressed anyone more than, say, Turbo Miller. We kept inside linebacker Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles, who I'm told is a very good special teams player. I don't doubt that, but what has he done as an inside linebacker that would make you say, oh, we got to have him? Nothing. So I think if you're just keeping him for his special teams abilities, maybe you work more with Dante Turbo Miller and see if he can turn into more of a gunner. He had that one bad play against the Patriots where a punt hit him and became a muff punt. Not that he was to be Turner, but he was downfield blocking and the ball hit him. It landed on him, basically. But he also had a great play downing a punt inside the 5-yard line the week before that. So, again, his speed is electric. I think he could wind up doing most of what Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles does on special teams with a little bit of coaching, a little bit of seasoning. In fact, I think that's what's the plan is to get Turbo onto the practice squad and to keep working with him and then maybe one day have him be that special teams player. But for now, I still would have kept him on the roster and got rid of Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles. And the third person I would have gotten rid of is Austin Schlottman, who is at best, second string, probably third string center. We kept 10 offensive linemen. I don't think we need 10 offensive linemen. Greg Van Roten can easily step in as the backup center. Austin Stinney has played center. So we didn't need a Austin Slopeman roster spot just as the backup center in case JMS goes down. I think Greg Dulcich would have been a better addition to the team and would have gotten more snaps than Austin Slopeman. Any game Austin Slopeman is in is a game that we're going to lose. Pretty, cut and dry. He's just not a good player. If he's on the field, we're probably in trouble already. Greg Dulcich is someone who can contribute to the team, and I think we're going to miss him. Now, again, I think we're going to try and sneak him into the practice squad, but something tells me that someone else is going to pick him up, and we won't have that opportunity. So again, my thoughts are that Dante Miller, Greg Dulcich, and Elijah Chapman should have been kept, and I think we would be remiss if we lose them and they don't even make it to the practice squad and someone else picks them up, which is what I'm expecting to happen. So that's what I think. But what do you think? Please drop us a comment. Like I said, please share, like, and subscribe, but drop us a comment. Let me know what you think about what I think. I'm all the way over here in Berlin, and you're right there in New York. So maybe you have seen something that I haven't seen or heard something I haven't heard. Share it with us. Okay, Clay from Brooklyn, Football with the Fellas, all about Big Blue, and I'm out.
Big shout out to El Marquis Productions, the talent behind the music and production here at Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Their beats bring energy and excitement to every episode. El Marquis' skills in mixing, mastering, and creating top quality sound make the podcast come alive each week. For your own projects, check out elmarquisproductions.com and take your sound to the next level.